I want to share something about a product I've used to restore the appearance of Avalanche cladding trim. And first of all, I don't get anything for this, so don't get any of those kind of ideas. But this is just a product that I've bought and used myself, and I just want to share with the internet how this stuff turned out for me. So anyway, the product is called Gtechniq. They're a brand that makes a whole line of automotive finished products. And anyway, you can get this stuff online. And this particular product is called, if I could get it to focus here, but it's going to refuse. Anyway, this particular product is called Gtechniq. Okay, and that's spelled with a Q on the end, but no Q-U-E. Gtechniq. Or Technique. Permanent Trim Restorer C4. So this is the particular, it's called C4. Okay, Gtechniq C4. And anyway, on the label it says Permanent Trim Restorer, but if you go to the details on the back of the box, it says up to 2 years durability for use on all exterior trim. So you know, we go from permanent here to 2 years durability. But this part here, the 2 years durability, from what I've seen, it's living up to that. Okay, so most of these products that you can put on your weather-beaten Avalanche cladding, they have to be reapplied after each wash. Okay, it's the kind of stuff that just, you know, it wears right off, and on the next wash it's gone, and you just got to keep putting it on. This is not like this. This stuff, you put it on and it doesn't wash off, and it looks good, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. But anyway, they've got directions here. They want you to deep clean your trim, okay, and they tell you to use a product that they make called W5 Citrus, and I have some of that right here, and I've used it. Okay, and this stuff here, okay, citrus all-purpose cleaner. These citrus cleaners, you know, the citrus type surfactant that they use, it pops up in all kinds of stuff, and it's probably the same stuff that you would find in, say, I got some hand cleaner over here, like this Fast Orange hand cleaner, which has been around for ages. That jug there is probably 20 years old. But anyway, I did use this stuff, and I think this stuff is overhyped and not really absolutely necessary. But what they do tell you is you need to clean the trim. I would agree with that. You need to have the trim, the plastic surface, very clean. It needs to be, basically they want all dirt, grime, grease. And what I did was I got one of these drill brushes, okay. I got a whole set of these, all different shapes. You buy them in an assortment. They're not expensive, and they can go on a cordless drill, and then that way, you know, it reduces the amount of elbow grease. You can just scrub the heck out of it. And I use stuff like this here. And, you know, there's some places where your little brush ain't going to fit tight spots, and you're going to have to go by hand, but you need to scrub it. And to tell you the truth, I used this. I also used the Fast Orange hand cleaner that I showed you over there. I used the Fast Orange hand cleaner to clean the cladding trim with this brush before I even got this stuff, because this stuff was on the way and it wasn't here yet. And so I just started using different things. I used the Fast Orange hand cleaner. I've used this stuff. I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference. My opinion is you could probably clean it with any good detergent. You could probably use Dawn dish detergent, whatever, but get it clean. That's basically what they're telling you here is, you know, get the surface of the plastic clean, and then to apply it, you spread it evenly, and once you've spread it evenly, they tell you to wipe away excess. Well, I actually I tried it that way, and I also deviated from that method, and basically I started applying the stuff on in a pretty heavy coat, and instead of wiping off the excess, I just let it sit on there and dry. And then I also applied multiple coats. I applied 2 coats, and I'll show you what the results look like. And I think that it turned out the best that way. So anyway, this stuff, I don't know if I don't know where I've got the bottle. Maybe I've got a bottle of it. That's just an empty box. I don't know. I don't know where I put the bottle of it. It's laying around. Anyway, and here's another. This is another product, an empty box. But I ended up buying 2 bottles of it. But you know, without showing you the bottle, it comes in a clear glass bottle, and it's a clear liquid, and it dries hard, and so it dries to a clear, hard finish. And the thing is, you get a choice of 2 sizes, and I bought the larger size, which actually isn't that big. It's a tiny little bottle. You get like a choice between 30 milliliters and 50 milliliters. And I ended up buying 2 bottles, and I did not do a whole truck with it. So anyways, I think, or was it 30 millimeters or 30 milliliters? What size? No, okay, the big bottle, I bought the big bottle, and the big bottle is 30 milliliters, not 50, 30. So they have a smaller bottle than this, all right? And this is the big bottle. It's not very big, okay? So 30 milliliters, that's what you get, and this costs about 50 bucks. And it's not going to go, that's not going to be enough to go all the way around on a whole truck, so you're probably going to need 2, maybe 3 bottles to do all of the cladding on the whole truck. So this stuff isn't cheap, but as I'll show you though, I'm pretty happy with how it works. So anyways, you know, I talked about the prep you have to do, clean the cladding. Now I'll show you on the truck over here. This is an 02 Avalanche, and most of the cladding on this truck, I've been in a 3-year-long restoration project on this truck, and most of the cladding has been replaced. So this bumper you're looking at here, this is new. I bought this new, and all of the sides are new, okay? But the reason why I want to show you how this works is because you can have a comparison between what the old restored trim looks like next to brand new trim, okay? So there were a few items that I could not replace, okay? One of the items I could not replace was these running board pads. These are original, and these have been coated with the C4 trim restore, but more on that later. I'll get back to those. But the really remarkable outcome here on these side sail panels, all right? These here were unavailable, could not be replaced. The sail panels, both the inside and outside, and the bridge panel on top, they are unobtainable. So these are the old ones, okay? And these things were very, very faded, weather beaten. You people know what they look like. They get mottled and zebra striped, and these were very mottled and zebra striped, and the shade of them looked like about, you know, it's like turning white almost, okay? It's like about 10 shades lighter than the original shade of gray, okay? This has had 2 coats of C4 applied to it, okay? Now look at what it looks like next to this utility box lid. This is new, all right? These have been replaced. These are brand new from GM, okay? And I bought the last 2 that GM had, so there are no more of these. And so this is a place where you can look at, when you can compare, okay? This has been restored with C4, and this is new. And you look at them, and the shade and the color has been restored, and almost all of the zebra striping and the modeling is gone, okay? And what I did with this was the first coat, it started looking better, and I just let it dry a couple of days, and I went right back to it, and I just applied another heavy coat to the whole thing, and I did not try to wipe off the excess. I basically just loaded it on there and just let it sit and let it dry. Now I had this trim was removed, okay? It was not on the vehicle, so I had it on a bench when I was able to work on it. So I took all these pieces, these sail panels and that bridge panel. Now that bridge panel was the absolute worst, and of course you can understand that. That's the piece on the rooftop. It's getting all the worst of the weather beating, and it looked hideous. And you know, you don't really see the top of it. Now if I were to get on top of the truck, you'd see that you can still see the mottling and the zebra striping on that top bridge panel, but it still looks like about 100% better than what it used to look like. It had you know, its color was faded to very, very light gray, would not match the color of the new trim, and basically that C4 stuff pretty much just brought it back. Okay, and so like I said, this is all old and restored and badly weather beaten, and you can still see a tiny bit, like right about here. I don't know if it comes up on camera, but there's just a tiny bit of a light spot kind of showing through there. But you know, compared to what it used to, it was all zebra striped and mottled all the way around. Here's another little very slight light area, but this is the kind of stuff, you know, you back away from this thing, okay? This trim is new. This trim is new. This is new, okay? This piece is restored. And then you back away and you look at this from a distance, okay? And it looks like it's all new. You can't hardly, you know, from a distance going down the road, you'll never spot that. Now, the tonneau covers are also old, and I coated them with the C4, and as you can see, here's some mottling here that did not, you know, the C4 didn't take it out, it just improved it. But when you consider what I started out with these were like ridiculously faded. I mean, they almost look like white. Okay, they looked as bad as the top of that bridge panel, and the top of the bridge panel looked pretty bad. So these tonneau covers only got one coat. For some reason I got lazy and I just did not decide to double coat them. So this is what they look like after one coat. And you know, if you look at it, this is new, okay? This is new trim right here. This is what the restored trim looks like right next to it. And yeah, you can definitely spot that. And I don't think a second coat is going to get that out either. It might improve it a little bit, but anyway, I'm willing to live with what these look like now. And if you just look at, okay, right here, this is new, okay? This utility box lid, and this is restored. And if you just look at it from a distance, you know, a casual glance going down the road, it looks like the same shade. The same thing here. This is new, and this is restored. Okay, so we have new here, restored here, and we have new. We have restored here next to new here. And so the point I'm making is it pretty much brings it back to where you can put it right next to something that is brand new. And it brought the shade back, it brought the appearance back. And, you know, I'll go around to the other side. Okay, this is all new. Here's another example. And by the way, this is all covered with dust. This truck is not clean. I live on a dusty road. Dust is a way of life here. So it's like a half an hour after you wash it, it's going to be covered with dust. So this is covered with dust, and you just live with it. But this bumper cladding, this is new. This was replaced. However, this little door right here is not new. It was old, and this door was faded. And so you look at it now, okay, this has been coated with C4, and I think I only put one coat on this, I don't remember. But you look at right next to the brand new finish and the restored finish, and again, you know, this was all faded to, like, you know, 10 shades lighter, and you know, it brought it back to the same shade, and you know, it looks like it's supposed to look. Now I'll go to the other side here, and you know, this is all coated with dust. This is in the sun here, and it's pretty much the same results. Where this sail panel was badly faded, badly zebra striped, badly mottled. Okay, and then this is a new cover here. This utility box lid is brand new, and you know, you look at the two of them next to each other, and you look at the whole ensemble, okay, and it looks good enough to pass. It looks almost as good as new. You would have to really put your nose up to it. And this stuff is durable. Now, I applied this stuff, it was about December of 2020 when I applied this, and I applied it indoors, and like I said, I had all of this cladding off of the vehicle. So I had it on a bench, and I was just looking for something that, you know, what could I do about this to get this stuff, you know, to match the parts that I could not replace. And you can even see there's a couple of little scratches. I don't know if it comes up on camera. There's a little scratch there, and there's another little scratch here. And those scratches are actually in the surface of the C4, and that comes from me when I had these parts loose and I was handling them and kind of throwing them around on the bench and stuff, and they got mishandled a little bit. So I actually did that. That's not road, all right? That's not from the road. I actually did that from handling it. But what it is, it shows you how durable. That's actually the coating, and it's like a clear, tough coating, and it just stays on there. It does not wash off. And like I said, I put this stuff on about December of 2020, and then it actually got assembled to the vehicle and then started getting parked outside, and then eventually got driven along about spring to summer of 2021. So it's been on the vehicle almost 2 years now, and it's you know, it's seen about a year or so of road use, and it's seen multiple washings. It's been out in the sun, it's been out in the weather, it's been washed a bunch of times. And I mean, I'll wash this thing down with dish detergent and scrub it with a brush and everything, because it gets all slopped up. I get this here when my road gets wet, because it's a gravel road, and you'll get all slopped up. The vehicle will get all slopped up with this stuff. This is just a tiny little bit of it. It'll get covered with this stuff everywhere. The wheels will throw it off, and you have to take some kind of a bristled brush, you know, when you wash it. You got to scrub it a little bit. And so this cladding, it's been scrubbed, and it's been detergent washed and scrubbed, and that stuff is still holding up. It's still holding its color. Like I said, there's a couple of little scratches, you know, that I actually did that from mishandling. And now here's the real testament to durability. Getting back to these covers for the running boards, these are original and old. These are brand new, replaced from GM. Okay, so you're looking at these here. They were faded. They were badly faded and badly worn. And the thing about this is, you step on this, you can see there's right here, this is where my foot steps on it. I step on it here in this zone. Okay, so right around in here, this gets stepped on. Now, I've been in and out of this truck, not just from driving it, but from working on it, from going in and out of the interior to do all kinds of work. This whole truck was completely dismantled. I had the dashboard out and everything. I mean, this was dismantled down to a bare body shell. So putting it all together, I've been in and out of this thing, and I have stepped up and down on this running board, and you know, there's sand and grit and all kinds of crud down here. I mean, this is like all dirt down here stuff. But anyways, so that gets tracked up on here. So this thing is dirty. Okay, this is dirty right now. It's not in clean condition, and you can see there's some scratches here and stuff. That's from my foot. That's from stepping on it. So, but the point I'm making is, if you just look at it from a distance, from overall, the color, it has been restored. I don't know if this is the best side to look at. We'll look at the other side too. But anyways, this running board cover was badly faded, badly worn. It wasn't zebra striped and mottled as bad as you know, the sail panels and the bridge panel, and that's because these don't get as much sun. But they were completely faded. This color would not have matched this color. These have been double coated with C4. I did it the same way. They were deep cleaned, and then I put a coat of C4 on there, and I did not try to wipe away the excess either. I just left it on there and just let it dry a day or two, and then come back to it and recoated it right on there, and laid it on heavy, and just let it sit. Did not try to wipe. So in other words, I'm not trying to wipe off excess and treat it like it's wax. on paint. I'm actually trying to let that coating build up on here, and the second coat, the color comes back even more than after the first coat. But okay, so now how's it going to hold up? Well, like I said, I've been in and out of this thing and stepping all over this, and you know, you step on the back a little bit, right? But not much. But okay, the part that I've stepped on, this has literally been stepped on probably several hundred times, maybe over 1,000 times. You know, I'm not exaggerating. I've been in and out. These running boards have been mounted on there with the plastic since about December of 2020, and I was in and out of here even before the vehicle was on. I had the bare body shell, and I had these running boards mounted. Okay, when I was putting the body back together, I had the running boards mounted. The running boards were actually supporting the body shell on the lift. I had lumber underneath the running board brackets, so the running boards had to be mounted, and so the cover was on there and everything. And I've been stepping on these running boards in and out of there, just working on the vehicle for like a couple of years now. So this is a lot of wear, and you know, it's holding up. It looks, you know, no, you're not going to take it to the Concours d'Elegance, okay? But for something that's driven, and all you need out of it is utility, and you need it to, you know, just look presentable, it still looks presentable, okay? If you look at that cladding next to the door, you look at that running board next to the door cladding. The door cladding is brand new, and the running board is not, okay? And it matches. It looks good enough to pass. And so I go over here. Now this running board, it's been stepped on too, but not as much. But I go in and out of the passenger side when I'm working on this thing all the time, and it's been stepped on in this zone. It's been stepped on in the back too. There's dust here. Kind of wipe it off, but it's not clean. It's got some spatter on it, some mud spatter and some dust and stuff. But if you just look at the color, okay, the door cladding is new, and the running board is old, original and restored with C4. So that's the results I've got out of the C4. And like I said, you know, I don't know. It remains to be seen. I don't know. I don't know where this leads in the long term. Eventually, like I said though, and they even tell you this on the label, up to 2 years durability. Well, so far, I can tell you, it looks like I'm getting 2 years of durability. The stuff does not wash off. It looks good. If it gets to a point where, you know, who knows what it's going to do eventually. I don't know if it starts flaking off. I don't know if it just wears away. I don't know. You know, but the stuff's, it's pretty tough, and it looks pretty good. And so, you know, I don't know if maybe I have to do it all over again in a year or two from now. I don't know. But I would recommend this stuff. For your Avalanche cladding. One thing you don't want to do, I can tell you this though, don't paint your cladding. For God's sake, don't paint your cladding. Paint is not going to stick to it. I don't care what you do, okay? I don't care what you do. That plastic is not made to accept paint, and you can go ahead and try to get that paint to stick, and you'll have to sand it and prep it and do all kinds of crazy stuff. And then when you paint it, it's going to look great, but then a few years later, that paint's going to start peeling off. And then when it does start peeling off, that's it. Your trim is done. Your cladding is done. You will be stuck with junk cladding, because all that stuff you did to prep that cladding, all that sanding and all that stuff, it's permanent. It will permanently deface that cladding, and the paint's not going to stick. Do not paint cladding, okay? It's just not going to work. Any other solution is better. Don't paint your cladding. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to share that. Thanks a lot.